Hey everyone! Since Hari Raya is right around the corner, let's make the softest, most melt-in-your-mouth Kuih Makmur. So what is a Kuih Makmur anyway? They are a small and delicate cookie with Middle Eastern origins. The rich buttery dough encases a sugary peanut filling. In Malaysia, they are traditionally served during the celebrations after Ramadan. First off, let's roast 350 grams of skinless peanuts in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes until they are lightly golden and fragrant. Set aside to cool completely. Next, let's get a pot on the stove and pour in 600 grams of cake flour or superfine flour. Now with the heat on low, we're going to heat up the flour, essentially toasting it. This is something my grandmother used to do when making cookies. It lightens the flour and lends the slightest toasty fragrance to it. We don't want it to start browning though, so use your fingers to feel if the flour is evenly heated through. Once it is, we can scoop it all into a sieve. Sift it into a large bowl. If you get any lumps at the end, just press it through. Let's set the flour aside and finish off our peanuts. Now that they're completely cooled, we can place all the peanuts into a food processor. Put the cover on and pulse a few times. We want the peanuts to be finely chopped, but not super dusty, so pulse intentionally. Spoon about half of the peanuts into a bowl. Leave the remaining peanuts in the food processor and blend it until it becomes smooth and creamy peanut butter. Look at that thick texture. Pour the crushed peanuts back into the food processor along with 50 grams of brown or white sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. Pulse everything together just to combine. Alternatively, you could also mix crushed peanuts with plain natural peanut butter and do this by hand instead. So this is the texture we want. The peanut butter is acting like a glue to hold the crushed bits. Traditionally, Kuih Makmur is just filled with crushed peanuts and sugar, but it's very tricky trying to roll a ball of dough around something so loose. Mixing it with peanut butter makes the process a lot easier. Pinch a little bit of it and squish together, then form into a ball. Once we've balled all the peanuts, let them sit in the fridge to stiffen up further. Kuih Makmur is traditionally made with ghee or clarified butter, which is obviously not vegan, so we're going to use vegetable oil instead. You can use vegan ghee if you can find it where you are, but it's essentially a mix of vegetable oils anyway. This is 280 grams of refined coconut oil. This will give the kuih the richest taste similar to ghee, but any other neutral vegetable oil will work as well. Pour the oil directly onto the sifted flour. Now this is optional, but I like to add the tiniest bit of natural vegan butter flavoring just to elevate the taste of the cookies. Skip this part if you don't have or can't find any. Using a spatula, we're going to mix everything together. If you've never made Kuih Makmur before, the texture of this dough will feel really strange. It's almost like a very wet pastry dough in the beginning. Once it's somewhat together, let's use our hands. Bring all the loose flour together and press. We're not trying to knead the dough, just pressing it together into a smooth lump. Now that it's all come together, pinch a small amount of dough, press together and roll into a ball. This is about 8 grams. To fill the dough, we're going to lay it on our palm and press a hole with our finger. Then take a peanut ball and place it inside the hole. Push the edges of the dough up while pressing the peanut ball down and rotating. Seal the top and roll it out to a ball. Then roll it sideways into an oval shape. Arrange on a parchment-lined baking tray. Bake at 170 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Once done, let them cool completely. To finish them off, we need a generous amount of icing sugar. Gently pick out one of the cookies and place in the sugar. Roll to coat the entire thing in white. They're very delicate, so use a light hand or they might break. For that festive feel, prepare some small paper cups. Take the Kuih Makmur and pop them into the paper cup. If you prefer them without, that's fine too, but since they're so delicate and breakable, they're a lot easier to handle in a paper cup. Arrange the Kuih Makmur in a beautiful glass jar and serve it to your guests during the festive season. For more festive vegan recipes, watch this video next and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.